Now, students, let us learn about nutrition in animals. Now, this concept refers to the body's need for nutrients. Why does a body need nutrients, as well as the mode of ingesting food, that is, taking in food? So, which are the various ways in which animals, that is, including human beings, take in food, as well as its use in the body? So, what is the use of these nutrients in our body? Now, do you all recall, children? Which are the various nutrients of food? Do you remember? Yes, there are six main nutrients in our food, and they are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. And now, do you all recall for what purpose are the nutrients used? Yes, we just did it in the earlier part of the video. That is, it's on the first page of this particular lesson. That is the need for nutrition. The need for nutrition is one, to supply energy required for doing work. Second is growth and development of the body. Third is to replace the damaged cells and to repair tissues. And the fourth is to fight diseases. So these are the various purposes why we require nutrients in our body. Now, nutrients necessary for various activities of the bodies are obtained from food. Our body does continuously its working, not only physical work that we do, but even the various life processes like digestion, circulation, breathing. For all this, our body requires energy, and so this energy is obtained from nutrients, and they are supplied to the various parts of the body through blood. The food that we consume, that is, we eat, does not mix with blood as it is. Okay, so directly if we eat, it will not go to the blood itself. It needs to convert into soluble forms that can easily mix in blood. Okay, so these have to be converted, that is, they have to be broken down into soluble forms, that is where it can mix in the blood. Okay, only then the blood can take it. And nutrition in animals involves various steps, from ingestion to egestion. Okay, so ingestion is taking in, egestion is throwing it out, the waste products. So let's understand these steps. So steps in nutrition are: first is ingestion, that is how the body takes in food. So food is taken into the body, isn't it? So that is called ingestion. There are various ways in which animals take in food. Now, digestion. So digestion also happens. So that, what is digestion? Digestion is conversion of food into simple soluble forms. We just learned that our body is not able to take, the blood is not able to take the food that we eat. So this has to be broken down into simple soluble forms wherein the blood can take all the nutrients from the food. Then absorption. So this is transfer of soluble food to the blood. So when from the when it gets digested in our stomach, it has to go into the blood. So that is called the absorption, when the blood absorbs these nutrients. So that is the next step. And assimilation. Now, what is assimilation? Utilization of absorbed food by cells and tissues by energy production, growth, and repair. So this is what is assimilation, wherein the various tissues, cells and tissues, will take this soluble food that the blood is supplying and will start utilizing it, using it, okay, to for the production of energy, for the production of growth, for the repair of the various cells and tissues. And egestion. So egestion is removal of waste products and undigested food from the body. So there are many things that are undigested or unwanted parts of the food that the body doesn't require. So that is thrown out in the various forms. Sometimes it is thrown out in the form of sweat or urine or stools. So these are the 4 steps in the nutrition. Here's an activity for you to do. Observe the animals around you and complete the following table. Now, in this table, they have given 2 animals, that is cow and frog. So let's understand about it. We have all seen the cow, we have all seen the frog, and we know how they, what are the food they eat and what is the method of ingestion. Now, cow, what does a cow eat? Cow eats grass and hay, isn't it? And how does it eat it? It chews the food, isn't it? We have seen the cows chewing their food. What about the frog? The frog eats various types of insects. And how does it take the food? It swallows it, isn't it? Now, you could do this activity with various other animals if you can't. Know about the cow, the frog, observe the cow, the frog around your area. You could do it with dogs, cats, and there are so many other animals. So you could complete the list and make a bigger list and, just observe it and find out the differences. Now, you must have observed that there are different methods of ingestion of food. What is ingestion? Taking food in different animals like swallowing, chewing, sucking, scraping, and gnawing. Okay, what is gnawing? Gnawing is like eating into the food, like what rats do. So that is called gnawing. Now let's understand the types of nutrition in animals. Okay, so first we'll learn about the holozoic nutrition. Now, can you tell how does ingestion occur in unicellular animals like amoeba? We know that animals, there are single cell animals. Okay, they do not have any mouth organs, they do not have any hands. Okay, so the amoeba does not have organs like hands and mouth. So how does it ingest the food? Now let's understand it with the help of the pictures given to us over here. Now it is a unicellular animal, that is, it is made of just one cell, and all activities go on within this cell. Now, it can take food through any part of the surface of its unicellular body. Now, just let's follow this picture. What happens is, as soon as it sees any particle over there, first it will come closer to the food particle, then it will try to surround it, and then it will engulf it. That is, completely take it in. Okay, and this is how it will ingest the food. So now let's read about it. Now it surrounds the food particle from all sides to take it into the cell. After that, it digests the food with the help of different enzymes. So enzymes are there in its the unicellular. Everything happens in that single cell. So there are enzymes to digest the food, and undigested food is left behind as the amoeba moves further with the help of its pseudopodia. That is, pseudopodia is the leg like structure that it moves with. Okay, so it protrudes these parts, so those are called the pseudopodia. So just like it has ingested the food, same way it will eject. Okay, so undigested food is ejected out of the body in the similar way. So in unicellular animals like amoeba, euglena, paramecium, etc., all the steps of nutrition occur within the unicellular body. So in within one cellular, all the activities takes place. Now let's learn about the various insects. Now insects have mouth parts for ingestion of food. Okay, for example, now let's take insects like cockroach and grasshopper, which nibble means they will chew the food, bite it into smaller pieces. So they nibble and have jaw like mouth parts. Okay, so observe the cockroach and observe the grasshopper whenever you can. Similarly, butterflies suck the food with a tube like structure. So those are called, the tube like structure is called the proboscis. Mosquitoes and bed bugs use a needle like mouth part to pierce and a tube like mouth part to suck blood or other fluids. So we know when the mosquito bites, we feel like as if somebody has pricked us, isn't it? So that is what happens when mosquitoes and bed bugs, they have needle like mouth parts or a tube like mouth part to suck the blood or other fluids. Okay, now observe and discuss. How will you classify the following animals according to their food type? So look at that, observe it, make a chart out of it, and you could visit our website to check your answers at jkacademypro.com. According to the type of food, animals can be classified as well. Now we can classify animals into these various types, that is herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, scavengers, and decomposers. Now let's read and learn about each one. Now herbivorous use plants directly as food. So animals that depend only on plants are called herbivorous. For example, are grazing animals. Then granivorous, that eat only seeds, okay, that is grains and seeds. And frugivorous, that is fruit eaters, etc. Then we have the carnivorous. Now, animals that depend on other animals for their food are carnivorous. Now, carnivorous are indirectly dependent on plants for their food. So, directly they don't eat plants, but they eat other animals that feed on plants. So, indirectly they get plants, the nutrients from plants into their body. Now, for example, are examples are animals that feed on herbivorous, that is, they are called predators. Animals that feed on insect are called insectivorous. Now, here is a picture of the anteater is found in Central and South America. The bobcat or woodmunger is found in India. So, you can find out more about it from the internet. Now, let's go to the third type, that is the omnivorous. Now, animals that obtain their food from both plants and animals are called omnivores. For example, monkey, chimpanzee, humans, isn't it? Eat humans. We eat both plants and animals. We are vegetarians. There are some people who are only vegetarians, and there are some people who are non-vegetarians as well. So, some of the organisms around us perform the function of cleaning and conserving the environment by the very act of feeding themselves, and they are called scavengers or decomposers. So now let's read about them. Now, who are the scavengers? They obtain the animals that obtain their food from dead bodies of animals. So that is how they are able to perform the function of cleaning and conserving the environment. Okay, so they eat the dead bodies, so the dead bodies don't rot and spread diseases. So they will eat these animals. So, for example, the vulture, the crow, the hyena, etc. So, all these are called scavengers, those that feed on dead bodies. Now, who are the decomposers? They are microbes, that is the microorganisms which we can't see with our naked eye. They are very, very minute, okay, which obtain their food by decomposing the dead bodies of organisms or other materials. Okay, so they decompose the food, and this decomposing the nutrients from that body goes into the soil, and that's how the plants get their nutrients. So these were the five types of animals that are classified according to how they have their food. Saprozoic nutrition. Now, some insects, unicellular animals, etc., obtain the nutrients by absorbing the liquid organic material from the dead bodies of other animals or from the environment. This is the saprozoic nutrition. For example, the houseflies are ants, spiders, etc. So they are insects and unicellular animals. They're very small insects. Now, what are parasitic nutrition? Now, have you seen small animals in the bodies of animals like dogs and buffaloes or horses, other animals? No, if you look at them very closely, you find small insects like thing moving on their bodies. So, which are these small animals? Have you ever noticed them? And from where do these little animals obtain their food? Now, from where do the worms in the intestine obtain their food? Our body also, our intestines have a lot of worms inside our bodies. Okay, so small animals depend on other animals for food. Now, they can obtain the food only from animals on whom they are dependent. So we have seen, sometimes the mosquitoes, the bed bugs bite us, so that is how they suck our blood. So that is how they can get the food from there, and that is from the blood they take the nutrients. So this is called the parasitic nutrition. And some animals live on the body surface of other animals and obtain their food by sucking their food. This is called the ectoparasitic nutrition, and such animals are called ectoparasites. For example, the louse. Louse is the lice, juhu, that we say, that is there in our hair, bed bugs, ticks, etc. And animals like the tapeworm and the roundworms live inside the body of other animals and obtain their food. So this is the endoparasitic nutrition, and these animals are known as endoparasites. So here we come to the end of the lesson.